Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's opinions video. This is one I've been really looking forward to. Killer Queen sent this through on August 12th and I really like this. I love UFC and I'm aware that they do this in UFC, but they don't do this in WWE, but they should, and that is induct matches into the Hall of Fame. So I asked the question, nice and simple, what 3 matches would you induct? What would you induct into the WWE Hall of Fame? And I thought I'd set myself an interesting challenge. I've not read the responses, but I thought I wondered if I could find 3 iconic matches that no one will have mentioned. So I thought that'd be a fun little game. I feel pretty confident about it, but I don't know. Let's see. First one I wanted to go with was Bruno Sammartino against Buddy Rogers. This from 1963. This is where Bruno wins the title. So the very first champion is Buddy Rogers. He is awarded the championship. He doesn't win the championship. I think they claimed he won it in a tournament. There was no tournament. So the first time we actually get someone properly winning the WWE Championship is Bruno, 1963, beating Buddy Rogers. And he, of course, would then go on to have that legendary title reign. He would go on to hold that title for, I've got it written down, 2,803 days, which is still the record to today. So where it all started, 1963, Bruno against Buddy Rogers, 2 of the absolute greatest in the history of wrestling, has to go in. Second one, Wild Samoans against Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. I wanted to get a Wild Samoans match in there because obviously recently we've just had Afa pass away. And this is really important. It doesn't get spoken about enough. 1983, this is where I believe we crown the first African-American champions in WWE history. Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas winning those tag titles. And, you know, I always think it's really fun to think if WrestleMania had been, like, started years earlier, what would the card have looked like? Who would have main evented? What would the show have looked like? And, you know, the Wild Samoans, Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas, these are the names that would have been on WrestleMania had WrestleMania have started back in 83, 82, that kind of time. Instead, it starts in 1985, and obviously we're bringing in loads of new stars. So unfortunately, we don't get to see these kinds of names at WrestleMania, but this is what was going on just before WrestleMania. So I think it's really important to shine a light on that kind of pre-WrestleMania WWE, yeah? And then the last one, I took a bit of a gamble. I thought I would go for something in the 90s, and I don't think anyone will have mentioned this. It's the first ever ladder match, but it's not WrestleMania 10. There was a ladder match that took place at a TV taping, and the match got added to a home video, a Coliseum home video, right? And it's Shawn versus Bret. And basically the story to this is Bret had the idea for the ladder match. He had seen it done before. He wanted to bring it to WWE. And he basically said, look, Vince, let me show you what a ladder match looks like. And Vince said, okay, pick an opponent. We'll have a look at it tonight. So Bret versus Shawn in 1992 takes place, and they have a ladder match. And it's all so that Bret can show Vince what a ladder match looks like. What's obviously really painful for Bret is you fast forward a little bit to WrestleMania 10 in 1994, and we get a ladder match, what many people think is the first ladder match in WWE, and it's Shawn versus Razor. Bret is not even involved in the match that he told Vince about. So I would like to write the record books there and make sure that everybody knows the very first ladder match was one that took place between Bret and Shawn back in 1992. So I've gone for those 3. I'm pretty confident no one's going to have mentioned those. But I think they're all very, very deserving. Very, very deserving. For different reasons, of course. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you lot have come up with. So let's start, shall we? Gio the Theo says Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 40. I think we'll probably hear that quite a bit. And it's a great shout, isn't it? I mean, think of the end of the story and all of that. I don't think there can be any complaints there. John Cena against Bray Wyatt, the Firefly Funhouse. And hear me out, Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, Elimination Chamber 2023. The result still hurts, but the match was excellent. Red hot crowd, and I really was rooting for Sami, but I'll never get over that pain. Roller said Stone Cold against Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. Love it. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. Love it. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40. Love it. Brady said Undertaker versus Shawn, WrestleMania 25. We've had that. Perfectly, actually my favourite match. John Cena against The Rock, WrestleMania 28. That's interesting. First time we're hearing of that one. And that is the first encounter. Obviously, they would face again at WrestleMania 29, but that's the one that The Rock wins. We get sad John Cena at WrestleMania 28. And then the Firefly Funhouse match, which was just mentioned. Austin says, Brothers of Destruction versus DX Crown Jewel, Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania 27, and Vince versus Bret at WrestleMania 26. Well, there we go. Brilliant. Austin, shout out to you. I'm joking. I saw the serious answers. Undertaker against Shawn, Bad Bloods. Wow, the Hell in the Cell match. Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. And this is why Austin has got my heart. Because if I was not playing the game of trying to name matches that I don't think anyone would have named, that absolutely would have been there. Hogan, Andre. I've said before, I think if I was to have just one picture up in my flat or in my apartment, whatever, to kind of symbolize wrestling, I think it would be Andre and Hogan face to face. I mean, the more that Hogan speaks these days, the more that might be not that appetizing, but that to me is wrestling. That is just absolutely wrestling. Red hot babyface, Hulkamania, running wild, monster. And when I say monster, I mean literally one of the biggest monsters we've ever seen in wrestling. Monster heel in the main event of one of the biggest wrestling shows we have and maybe will ever see. It's not the biggest, but it's one of the biggest I think we will ever see. WrestleMania 3, absolutely packed to the rafters. Bobby the Brain Heenan involved as well, and it was just, it's just magic. Just magic. King Joker said HBK Undertaker at Mania. I'm guessing that's 25. Dudley's, Hardys, and Edge Christian TLC match. Love it. Rock versus Mankind in the I Quit match. Yes, very good. 11 unprotected chair shots. Has to make it into the Hall of Fame, right? You're right. To take that much damage, it probably does deserve its recognition, Rock Mankind. Matter says Bret Hart, Owen Hart, WrestleMania 10. Love it. Bret Hart, Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13. For many people, the greatest match. I think that's Wrestle with Andy's favourite. I always lean Undertaker, Shawn, more so at WrestleMania 25. But yeah. Undertaker, Shawn, Bad Blood. So I thought you was going to go WrestleMania 25. You went the Hell in the Cell instead. Ratchet said Randy versus Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3 for the IC title. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. For many people, that was regarded as the greatest match. I don't know really what up until what point, but for many people, that was the match kind of all throughout the 80s in WWE. That's a really interesting question, actually. I feel like that was the match. But what was the match that beat that? Was it Bret versus Owen? Was it Bret versus the British Bulldog? What was the match that knocked Macho against Ricky Steamboat off its pedestal? For many people, no match ever did, but I wonder what the match was. I wonder if it was SummerSlam 92, the main event. I wonder if there was a match that came along before that, or if it was Bret Owen, or if it was the ladder match. Don't know. That's really interesting. That was the match. Shawn against Ric Flair, WrestleMania 24. Love it. And if WCW counts, it doesn't. It does. Ray against Eddie, Halloween Havoc 97. Iconic. You can even get figures from that match with Ray in the purple attire and everything. And yeah, mind-blowing. And that match, I mean, with all of these matches, they all still stand up to today. The only thing I'd say is that I think a lot of these matches are getting put in for different reasons. Like Bruno Buddy Rogers, the one I mentioned, was like super, super short. But its importance is, I mean, pretty much unparalleled. So you're not really going to that for the quality of the match. It's more, you know, the fact that match happened and what the repercussions were. Its importance. But for someone like Ray versus Eddie, you could go back now or show it to a friend now and it will be just as entertaining. Like, it really has stood the test of time. Jello Man said Hogan Andre has to be there. Definitely. Shawn Undertaker, Korea versus Street. Wow. So you would go WrestleMania 26 over 25. Wow. And why not include the one before? Why not? So you're putting both in. Roland said Undertaker, Shawn, WrestleMania 25. Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, Raw 2002. That's a great match and really deserves its flowers. So love seeing that in there. Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge Christian, WrestleMania 17. Lucas Starr said Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. Austin versus Rock Mania 15. Oh, I'd love to know why 15. Ah, no, I just saw that Mark has sunk my battleship. We'll get to it. I didn't think anyone would. I really didn't. But Mark, you've killed me. Why 15? I think 17 is regarded as the better match, but you do have the turn at the end, which upset a lot of people. 19 is good, but is 19 better than 15? That's really interesting. It's not wrong. I mean, you can't be wrong, but I think I just would have expected 17 to be mentioned than 15. Savage Steamboat at 3, so really good. Bruno against Buddy, May 7th. Look, we've even got the dates. May 17th, 1963. Mark, you're banned. You're banned. Do you know what? I was going to go for that as well. I think me and Mark are on the same wavelength, you know. Because I was like, before I did the Shawn Brett first ladder match one, I was like, I'm going to go main event WrestleMania one because it's so important. And I don't think anyone's going to mention it. But I did just wonder if they would. Oh, Mark. Amazing. And then, yes, look, Randy, Ricky, WrestleMania 3. Oh, you get a like. Even though you sunk my battleship, even though you killed me, you get a like. Deadman Talking says Undertaker versus Shawn, WrestleMania 25. Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 24. Real Wrestling Fan said, I would say for me, Hogan Andre WrestleMania 3 for historical reasons. Undertaker Brock WrestleMania 30. We still can't believe this. The end of the streak. And look, Austin Rock WrestleMania 17. What company has ever had this kind of talent at the top of their prime? Plus, I was there, says Real Wrestling Fan. Very good. Very good. I do like the 15 shout as well. I would love to know why 15 over 17. But, I mean, they were all great matches. Excluding Hogan Andre, as that match almost has to be there by default. Hogan Rock WrestleMania 18. Oh, it goes in for the stare down, doesn't it? Mankind Taker, I'm glad that got a mention. Do you know when the network first started, that was the most viewed match on the network? Undertaker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell. I don't think it was Hell in a Cell, actually. I think it was King of the Ring. But it was a Hell in a Cell match. Razor against HBK ladder match. Yes. So that was my thought. And then I was like, actually, I can go one before that and talk about the earliest ladder match. But yes, that deserves to go in as well, because I think that was like a Dave Meltzer 5 stars. And I know people don't like Dave Meltzer, but if he's going to give a WWE match 5 stars, that must mean it was flipping amazing, right? So Carl said, would have to have a long think about the other two, but Shawn Undertaker at 25 is definitely in there. That match is absolute GOAT. Completely agree. Lucy Axo said Shane against Kane, the ambulance match from Survivor Series 2003. I like this because I feel like we're doing some matches here which are kind of a little bit more out the ordinary, shall we say? So, because Shane O'Mac, I don't think anyone had that going on their bingo card. So, Shane O'Mac Kane, the ambulance match, Survivor Series 2003. Randy Orton, Cactus Jack. I really like that match, you know. Backlash 2004. You know, this is where we've got Randy, and he's really being pushed at this point. You know, he came in and, like, you've obviously got the whole evolution stuff, but him with Cactus Jack, he is really, really being tested. And it's a great match. Triple H against Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood, 2004. I love their little feud that they had when Shawn first came back. And yeah, that's a great match as well. So love that. Something a little bit different. Maybe there's some there that people might be tempted to check out. I think a lot of what we've talked about are matches that everyone knows. I would say this one is probably strayed off the beaten path a little bit more, which is good. Alex said Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, King of the Ring 98. Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, TLC match WrestleMania 17, and Brett, Shawn, the Iron Man match. I think that's our first mention of the Iron Man match. So the Iron Man match goes in. So Alex, shout out to you. Jordan said Shawn Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, personally my favorite match. Completely agree. Cody versus Roman, WrestleMania 40, the end, arguably one of the most impactful reigns of all time. And Hogan Andre, WrestleMania 3. I have a sour opinion on Hogan, but I can't take away the importance of the match. Completely agree. Funny, actually, because I said the same myself. I was like, to me, that poster of them face to face is just... I do wish Andre had won, though. I do wish we had looked back and Andre had got the victory there, and maybe Hogan got it a bit further down the road. It would be, but I mean, like, I get it. I mean, they're trying to build Hogan. Hogan was the guy. From a booking point of view, Hogan winning makes sense. From a historical point of view, I wish Andre had won. Travis said, Steel Cage climbing out only. First blood and falls count anywhere from the good old days. Oh, are you talking about stipulations? No, we meant specific matches. Specific. Like Jaden, who's got Shawn Undertaker WrestleMania 25. We've got Volta Dragunov NXT UK. Wow. Do you know, I never actually saw that match. And so on the members side, I did a watch along for it. I was really impressed. Of course, it's one of the best matches in WWE history. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Bret Hart and Stone Cold, WrestleMania 13. Right, Ashmer said WrestleMania 21, Kurt and HBK. One of the best matches. I mean, honestly, so good. They just both put on a clinic, don't they? I mean, I'm so glad that match happened. There's so many Shawn matches that didn't. Like, we never got Shawn against Daniel Bryan. We never got Shawn against The Rock. But at least we did get Shawn against Kurt. Hell in a Cell, Undertaker versus Shawn. And Super Showdown, Goldberg versus The Fiend. Really? Are you sure? Are you sure that you really do mean that as being one of the best matches that deserves to go into the Hall of Fame? Wild. Matthew said Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage, WrestleMania 3. Hogan Andre, also WrestleMania 3. And Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 30. Brendan, shout out to you. Here's Nathan, who says Shawn, Triple H, SummerSlam 2002. Tommaso Ciampa against Johnny Gargano, the Chicago Street Fight. Wow, we're going down to NXT again. NXT TakeOver Chicago. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens against the Usos. Oh, really? The tag match? Really? The main event of WrestleMania 39? Okay. Logan said, hello, Daze. Push Kyrie saying, for me, EO versus Bailey at WrestleMania 40, EO versus Asuka on SmackDown, and CM Punk versus John Cena. Oh, that's the first time we've had CM Punk, John Cena mentions. Money in the Bank 2011. Mostly Peaceful Dude says HBK Angle. Rock Austin 3, so that would be 19. And Undertaker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 28, end of an era. Amazing. It's got to have one of the best false finishes where Shawn gets involved, like, because he's the guest ref and Undertaker's down and out, and that just feels like it's it, and he kicks out. Oh, Liam Costa said first would be Hogan Andre, then it would be Shawn Undertaker at Mania 25, and then last would be Bret Stone Cold Mania 13. Those are my favorite matches of all time. Duke said Stone Cold Rock WrestleMania 17, Jeff Hardy Undertaker Raw the ladder match, Gunther Sheamus Drew WrestleMania 39. Oh, have we run out? Oh. Zaniac said Stone Cold Bret WrestleMania 13, Shawn Undertaker WrestleMania 25, Cody Roman WrestleMania 40. And then here's Wyatt Nix, who says Undertaker HBK Mania 25, CM Punk John Cena Money in the Bank, Undertaker Triple H Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. And we got a bonus, and that's the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, Hardys, TLC. So loads. I feel like Shawn Undertaker was the most mentioned. I feel like Hogan Andre was mentioned a lot as well. Stone Cold Bret was mentioned a lot. Cody Roman was mentioned a fair bit. In fact, there was a fair few that kept popping up. But, I so enjoyed that. I mean, I would do this video longer. I would just leave it and add to it. But I always aim for this to be about 20 minutes long. And we've gone 22 minutes anyway. So we've kind of got all the responses we were looking for. But I'm sure we'll revisit this. Perhaps what we'll do, I've so enjoyed this. I think there's a real good chance that we could do best matches of the 80s, best matches of the 90s, best matches of the 2000s, best matches of the 20s. I could totally see us doing that, Totally see us doing that. So this is just a taster. It's just a taste of kind of what we are gonna do going forward, because we could do best tag matches and best Hell in a Cell matches, and like we could break it all down. This is just big picture, but I like the decades one. I think there's a lot to do there. Maybe we could do best Undertaker matches, like each wrestler. Guys, there's a whole world of potential out there for us. So plenty of more of these videos on the way. So thanks a lot for taking part. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.